Good afternoon. I'm Karen Holmes Ward. Asians are one of the fastest growing racial groups in Boston, with nearly 10% of the city's population identifying as Asian. Between 1990 to 2019, the AAPI community grew by 88%. And with this growth came a rise of Asian-owned businesses in areas such as Allston. From the Italian cooking of the North End to Caribbean food in Jamaica Plain and Vietnamese dishes in Dorchester, the world's foods are represented throughout the neighborhoods of Boston. And on a half-mile stretch of Harvard Avenue in Allston, dozens of restaurants, cafes, and stores line the streets. One new addition is Boston Soup Dumplings. Specializing in authentic Chinese cuisine, the restaurant sells Szechuan dishes, dumplings, noodles, and more. Victor Cao, the owner, wanted to bring a taste of home from China.
In Boston area, there are not much restaurant focus on the kind of the street food, the traditional street food, the soup dumpling and noodles. So why not we open one? My hometown in China is from the northern part. We have a lot of the noodle dish in my hometown. I think that from my childhood, the noodles is kind of our soul food.
Victor says that food is the gateway to introducing people to new cultures. The dumplings hold an even deeper meaning in Chinese culture, one of harmony and diversity.
Local people or some people don't know the Chinese culture very, very well. And we think the food is a perfect channel or perfect platform. You put the water, you put the flowers, all together, and put the stuffing inside. This whole process means the very diversity and to the mix together.
Further down Harvard Avenue, another business known for its Korean-inspired dishes. June Sun opened Kimchi Papi in 2018, converting his former sneaker store into a Korean-inspired restaurant. June drew much of his inspiration from his family, who immigrated from South Korea.
We definitely, came to pursue the American dream, and I kind of draw inspiration from my parents, because they kind of, they came here, couldn't really speak English, and they kind of built their own businesses. And I think that kind of was ingrained into my DNA, and that helped me, start my business.
June opened his restaurant because of his mother, who owned Wuchan House, a former Korean restaurant in Somerville. Even though Asian culture is widespread throughout Allston, June says there is room to build more connections.
I think there's room for other businesses to enter, whether it's food, entertainment, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the future holds. Have kind of a community, maybe some sort of Korean or Asian community board that can, meet together and kind of discuss ideas, network, and try to build a community.
Korean street-style corn dogs and signature bowls are two popular items here. Kimchi Papi was one of the first restaurants to introduce these treats in Boston, an example followed by newer Korean chains in Allston.
The Kimchi Papi corn dog, which is the Korean street-inspired corn dog, and I think that's what kind of helped us get popular and viral. And I think we were the first ones to kind of bring it, to Allston and to just the general greater Boston area.
Faya Chicken is another notable Asian-owned business with a Korean kick. Located on Commonwealth Avenue, Timothy Liu developed his Korean-American fusion restaurant during the COVID-19 pandemic. Initially, he learned to cook as a hobby, but soon his skills grew alongside his ambitions.
During COVID, everyone was learning new things, so I was just practicing cooking. And then my friend owns a bubble tea shop down the street, and then this spot was available, and we were like, why not? We're not doing anything else. So we were like, let's try to open a restaurant. My parents has always worked in restaurants growing up. Probably the last thing they wanted for me to do is to open a restaurant, but I did it anyways. And I think it's just seeing them work all the time and every day just inspired me to do the same thing as them.
Faya Chicken specializes in fried chicken dishes. Their menu also features popular items like Korean corn dogs and house-made lemonade. Timothy is active in giving back to the community, helping immigrant families find jobs. He hopes that Asian businesses can come together and give back to the community in a collective manner.
Part of my family actually houses immigrants from Asia. I give them jobs until they can find something more steady. So I'll give them like part-time jobs, whatever I can do.
In Massachusetts, the number of Asian businesses continues to rise. According to a research brief by the Asian Business Empowerment Council, Asian-owned businesses experienced explosive growth, increasing their number of employees by 150%. The Alston neighborhood continues to grow with food as a catalyst for community collaboration and economic growth. These food entrepreneurs enrich the community and spread cultural understanding with every bite. And Alston is just one of the neighborhoods where Asian-owned businesses are on the rise. Little Saigon in Dorchester is New England's first Vietnamese cultural district. It's home to 75% of Vietnamese Americans in the city. And joining us now is Annie Lay. She's board president of Boston Little Saigon, and Peter Ohm, co-founder of Cocoa Leaf A Cocoa, a cafe that's in the district. How are you both? Welcome today.
Great. Thank you
Good
for
to
having
see
us.
you. Good to see you. So the Vietnamese community has been rooted in Fields Corner for decades, but Little Saigon has only been an officially designated cultural district since 2021. What does that designation mean?
The designation just means that we qualify for grant funding through the state and city, and also we just officially on the map as part of one of the Mass Cultural Council district. So if you go on the Mass Cultural website, there's other cultural districts in the community as well, and it just gives us more recognition as an official Vietnamese community cultural district, promoting the Vietnamese arts and culture as opposed to just doing it from our community standpoint.
So it helps with promotion and marketing.
Yes.
Additional assistance.
Yep.
To draw others into that area. Tourists.
Yes.
Particularly.
Yes. Tourists in the area. Most definitely.
So Peter, you opened the first Cocoa Leaf Dessert Cafe in 2017, and it took off from there. Why did you decide to open up in Little Saigon?
Well, Little Saigon encompasses much of Fields Corner, and to me, Fields Corner is the heart of the Vietnamese community. All of the restaurants, all of the mainstays, the stores that cater to the Vietnamese community are located there, and we felt it was the perfect spot. We have a lot of students, a lot of families come to our cafe, and that's where they live and work. So it was the perfect place for us.
So talk a little bit, if you would, about the specific resources that are available to business owners in cultural districts.
Well, Annie has been such a huge support for us, whether it's logistics or, helping us with the events that they host. The Boston Little Saigon Night Market is one of the biggest events for us. It draws so many people from outside.
When is that?
It's usually held in June.
June, okay.
Yeah, and it's there's a lot of food, there's a lot of activities. People get to see what the cultural district has to offer, and it just highlights everything that the Vietnamese community brings.
Annie, what are some of the plans for the future of the district? Is there a desire to create more of a tourist destination like Boston's Chinatown or the North End?
Yes, we're trying to increase cultural assets in the community, meaning like art projects, memorial projects, large sculptures, more murals, and then hopefully to entice more tourists to come to the area. And as they're there, they visit the businesses as well. We're trying to do more also programming, so people can just learn about the Vietnamese arts and culture, and then doing more artist work, especially with the Dorchester Arts Project, trying to get more inclusivity within the district so that we can all come together and just promote the arts.
Sounds like you've got a lot of great events planned and happening. How do these events help the local community?
Yep, it brings people into the area, and so it's been improving our crime rates and just a sense of safety in the area. During last summer, we did a temporary art alley project where we installed lights in part of an alley that people at nighttime generally don't go through, and so just increased it a little bit more.
And now it's a pretty space.
It is. We're working to make it a more permanent project now. So right after this winter, we'll install some piece. But yes, much more community focus and just a pretty space.
All that adds to the nightlife and just the excitement in the neighborhood, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And more people out and about as opposed to just like being at home.
Yeah, that's great. Annie Lay and Peter Ohm, thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing what comes out there in Dorchester.
Thank you.
Thank you.